Good morning all, myself Sugandha. I am discussing the assignment 2. So to begin with, first question was to analyze the morphology of the given crystal. Sir gave us crystal for which it was seen that the three sides were not equal and the small slanting edge we labeled it as A. This small edge was labeled as B and this long edge was labeled as C, and all these three sides were not equal. So the possibilities are that this crystal structure can be triclinic, monoclinic or orthorhombic. Also, it was seen from the crystal that the two angles were equal and one angle was not equal. So it can be inferred that this crystal structure is monoclinic system. And also the possible point group for this crystal structure was 2 by M or M. Next question. So we solved and refined the crystal structure using OLEG software from the given three data sets. So for first data which sir gave, first of all in OLEX we loaded the INS and HKL file which gave us some brown spheres of atoms on the screen. To those atoms we compared the molecular formula from the INS and HKL file we loaded, and we compared it with the molecular formula from the paper sir uploaded. So on comparing, we tried to assign the most plausible atomic or most plausible structures or more plausible atoms to the spheres it was possible. As we applied the atoms first, then after that we refined, we got some high R value, but after refining it to 3, 4, 5 times we got some acceptable R values. So this was the plausible structure for the first data which we got. Next, from the HKL and INS files we solved and refined using the OLEX2 software. We generated the report which contains the crystal data, the bond length and the bond angle along with the other parameters whose tables are given below. Like from the data we generated from the INS and HKL file, we got this crystal data which include that all the space groups of this molecule, the unit cell parameters of the molecule, the volume and all other parameters of this crystal. Also we got the goodness of fit from this values, and flag parameter value also we observed. Next we observed the bond length for HCT, the first data, the data 1, the bond lengths for different atoms in the which we got from the generated data we also got the bond length data. So as it can be seen that different atoms were connected to which atom was connected to what atom, and the bond lengths are given here. Next we got the bond angles between three atoms like O6, S1 and N9. It made what angle it made? It made 106. So from the data generated from OLEX2 we got the bond angle, bond lengths and unit cell parameters crystal data from the files we generated. After that we performed the crystal pegging from the Vesta software and by generating the zip file. So we got the crystal packing. The most plausible crystal packing was this, and it also gave that it was monoclinic and it has a space group of P21 and also different parameters were seen. And then we simulated the PXRD pattern for HCT file from the Next, for second data also we loaded INS and HKL file. We loaded the INS and HKL file. We again compared the molecular formula with the most closely related molecule from the paper uploaded, and then after interrelating we assigned the atoms in the molecule this we assigned atoms, and then after assigning the atoms we perform the refining. After refinement we refine the structure again till we get the value of 3.63, and then we also got the data, the crystal data for this second, the data 2, which gave us the unit cell parameters, the 2 theta range, and then the goodness of fit. Also we got the bond lengths for different bonds present in the molecule, and also we got bond angles. Now next we performed its crystal packing in Vesta software for this data 2 RMAL file, from which this was the most plausible crystal packing obtained, and also it gave the monoclinic system and space group was P21 upon C. Next we simulated the PXRT pattern for this RMAL file. Next is we performed the data 3n. For 3 data we also performed the same structure refinement, we solved the structure and refined it using OLEG software. We generated the report which gave us crystal data, and also it gave us bond lengths and bond angles for this, and then we generated it, and then we performed its crystal packing in using Vesta software, and also we simulated PXRT pattern of AROPA file from the Vesta software. So thank you.